Good evening. I am honored to offer the Republican response to the State of the State tonight. Tonight, we witnessed the last State of the State address from a public servant whose career has spanned 30 years. And while the governor and I disagree on many issues, I think it's appropriate to acknowledge and thank the service of Jay and Georgianne Nixon to Missouri over the last 3 decades. As I prepared my remarks for tonight, I spent some time reflecting on our great state and what it means to be a Missourian. As we all know, this is the Show Me State, which is a name we have earned as a people who believe not in flowery speeches or rhetoric, but instead in hard work and practical solutions. I'm proud to say that Republicans have acted to provide solutions to many of our state's most pressing problems. In just the past 2 years, the Republican supermajority has taken important steps to improve our state's economy over the long term. Because of these actions, and despite the governor's objections, this year Missouri families will see their first income tax cut in nearly a century. This is a responsible tax cut, a tax cut that gradually reduces the taxes for every Missouri entrepreneur and family. Thanks to the actions of Republicans, you will pay less in taxes. We will also continue to work on labor reform. States with last century's labor policies are being passed by. States with free labor policies are realizing the benefits of a dynamic, vibrant economy, putting more people to work and increasing take-home pay. As a Republican-led legislature, we have also stood firm in defending your Second Amendment rights. Every year, Democrats file dozens of bills that will infringe on these fundamental rights. Each and every year, we oppose and defeat them. Just last year, this General Assembly defeated a proposal to enact a massive tax on guns and ammunition, and we will continue to defeat similar proposals going forward. Sometimes this body's best work is not in what we pass, but in what we defeat. This majority has also made great strides in protecting the lives of the unborn. Because of the work of Republicans in the legislature, and because of your support, there are 30% fewer abortions a year in Missouri than there were just a decade ago. This is more than just a stat. There are literally thousands of children and people who are alive today who might not be, but for Missouri's culture of life. Republicans have stood adamantly opposed to an ever-encroaching federal government. This is especially true with health care. We will continue to oppose this president, this governor, and the Democrat Party in their efforts to expand the failed and flawed Obamacare system. That opposition will not change. The fact is, Medicaid enrollment is up nearly 15% over the last year and a half, and the cost of the program has increased 27% while Jay Nixon has been the governor. It defies common sense for the governor to advocate expanding a program experiencing such exponential growth when no effort has been made to control the cost. Let me give you just one example. Prior to the General Assembly taking action, the Nixon administration made no serious effort to verify that the people on Medicaid actually qualified for state assistance. This year, we will pass a law requiring state agencies to fact-check applicants. Coupling these efforts with a more managed approach to Medicaid delivery, we will help further contain cost and increase the quality of care, something that we absolutely must demand from the most expensive program in our entire budget. Even with the many successes of this Republican majority, we continue to face great challenges as a state. In the State of the State speeches I've heard Governor Nixon deliver, he has always had a unique ability to connect with Missourians from every corner of the state with inspiring words and bold promises. However, the unfortunate truth that those of us who serve in this building know is that the Jay Nixon in speeches, press conferences, and television commercials is not the same Jay Nixon we see in the Capitol. Despite his many bold promises during his term in office, Missouri has continued to fall behind the rest of our neighbors and the rest of the country. Missourians are feeling the effects of our state's lagging economic performance. The purchasing power of Missouri families continues to fall and poverty continues to rise. The hallmark of this governor has been talk and not action. Each January, he comes to the General Assembly and promises to meaningfully engage on the challenges facing Missouri. With but a few exceptions, he has failed to deliver on that promise. For example, for the second year in a row last year, at the governor's direction and with promises of support, we passed an education bill to help children in some of our worst school districts access the quality education they deserve. Our efforts were once again met by a governor's veto. This Republican legislature has pledged to lead even in the governor's absence. Because of his lack of leadership, Governor Nixon has been overridden more times than every other governor in the history of this state combined. With or without the governor's help, this legislature will tackle the challenges facing Missouri. One of those challenges is improving our state's infrastructure. Investing in our state's transportation infrastructure isn't just a convenience issue. It's one of economic necessity and public safety. For the farmer who on his way to the local grain elevator is forced to take a 30-mile detour to avoid an unsafe bridge, or the first responder whose response time is 30 minutes longer to reach a Missourian in need, it is a matter of protecting the livelihoods and, yes, in some cases, the lives of Missouri families. But Missourians don't believe government should look to them with a handout every time funding for one of our priorities falls short. Instead, Missourians believe we must take a long and hard look at government, the way it works and the way it spends money, and find innovative solutions to these funding challenges. I think we should listen to them. That's why, to increase infrastructure investment, I, along with Senate and House leaders, propose we reinstitute the MoDOT cost-sharing program. This once popular program among our cities and counties will allow local government to work with the state to meet the infrastructure needs of their communities. While this proposal won't solve all our transportation problems, this investment will send a clear signal to job creators and industry that our state is making the necessary investments and improvements to allow their businesses to capitalize, expand, and grow. And we can do all of this without asking Missouri families for a single penny more in taxes. The public has placed their trust and their confidence in the General Assembly. We owe it to them and the offices we hold to improve how people feel about their state government. We have to work together to find solutions to our state's problems, building a stronger economy, fixing our roads and building safer bridges, restoring the people's trust in their government, and educating the next generation of doctors, teachers, welders, and entrepreneurs are issues that we can all agree on. While politics nationally is polarized and gridlocked, we in Missouri can and we must do better. While there are critical differences between our parties and our ideals, refusing to find solutions is not an acceptable option. It's time for Governor Nixon and leaders in both parties, and yes, that includes me, to stop talking and instead get to work to begin crafting a better place to live, to work, and to raise a family. The state of Missouri is strong because Missourians are strong people. We have such a very short time here, so let us not waste it. The people of this state have heard enough talking, and after all, we are the show-me state. It's time we get to work. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the state of Missouri.